Where have all... No, I know. They're on Carl Urban.
Oh, there you are.
Carl Urban or
Whatever else is going on.
Cube the Masquerade.
It is like dinner time for a lot of people, too.
I had to have a Snickers bar. I would have collapsed here.
Yeah.
Hey, this panelist gig is great.
Well,
Free candy.
I can see where I'm going.
Just getting the hang of there. How's the water taste?
Wet.
How full was the room yesterday? See, people want to see cute girls, not us bozos.
No, I do.
Yeah.
I can't control it from here. Oh dear.
I'm sure you did fine.
How do I make it? Tell me when I want to minimize that.
Huh?
I can't see that.
Was he gonna like do
Okay,
stand-up
what do you need to
comedy
know?
or something?
I was going to say, tell me when I want to minimize, but I think I got it.
Yeah, it's no longer on there.
Oh, comic writer.
Use the Anchorman one.
What?
It's the Anchorman.
Anchorman.
Yeah, the Anchorman
Yeah.
video clip to test it. The one label number one.
Who on him?
So did you pass on that we, if he shows up, we might be able to squeeze that 20 minutes in for him?
I got an email from him 2 hours later.
Testing. Ooh.
Yeah. Well,
You want to test the video?
excuse, I guess.
Peter Capaldi?
Hello. Okay.
Who is his doctor? Peter Capaldi is Doctor Who. Well, that's not even a sentence. Who is his doctor? Repeat that. Who is Peter Capaldi's doctor? What do you mean, yes? So, Dr. Yes. Which doctor? Just say his name. He's got to have a name. Who? Who? Doctor Who? You know what, buddy? Guess what? You're fired. Simple as that. It's the last time I'm made to look like a fool.
Coming this fall to BBC America.
That is fan-made.
Psych.
I got
But it's
bad news. That's not the
awesome.
name of the story. So.
And I hate to argue with Ron Burgundy, but he did not pronounce the name of the actor correctly.
No, he did not.
It's Peter Capaldi,
Yes.
not
Because
Capaldi.
he's Scottish.
So let's all say it correctly. Capaldi.
Everyone repeat after me.
Capaldi. Thank you. All right,
Peter Capaldi.
let's introduce ourselves.
Shall we? All right. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Where is everyone? What happened? Yesterday was chock full. Last year was chock full. Oh, well. So.
They're in line for the mask.
Good point.
Well,
Anyway,
nuts.
so, yeah, welcome. I originally envisioned this as the second annual 50th anniversary Doctor Who panel at Comic-Con. They changed the name on me. So welcome to the Regeneration of whatever they called it. I'm Eric Javog. I'm the instigator of this whole thing. I'm a longtime Doctor Who fan. Second-time panelist now. All the good stuff. And head chef of the Emerald City Androgums, one of the now many local Doctor Who fan clubs. And to my right is
Hi. I'm
nobody.
Ryan.
So to my right,
Oh, fake out. All right. Yes. I'm Ryan K. Johnson, and I've been a Doctor Who fan for 31 years. And 29 years ago, I started the Society of the Rusting TARDIS, which is still existing. We meet twice a month. We never show Doctor Who because we've run out of them, but we show lots of really good stuff. And we're on Facebook now. I think we just hit our 200th member the other day, although none of them come to meetings. And glad to see you all here. Thanks for coming.
Hi, I'm Dan Murphy.
Hi, Dan.
Hi. Hi, I'm Dan, and I'm a Whovian. Been a fan since 1980. I'm old, but still a fan. I help Eric provide video content for our meetings and for this panel as well. And assisting me to my left is my wife, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy Murphy, longtime LA fan since '88, but now I live up here. And I like to watch stuff and enjoy it and have fun and meet lots of cool people who enjoy the same things I do.
So who here went to a theater last November and saw Day of the Doctor in 3D? Well, a lot of you.
Well,
Yeah.
both of them in the middle as well.
How many of you went to EMP that night for the Doctor Who party there?
Come on, put your hand up. We did.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
we're a given.
Yeah. So why is that? Here's the deal. Last year we went into the big, long, whole history of Doctor Who, 50 years worth, and we pretty much used up all the time. So this year I thought let's skip over all that. So I'm gonna warn you right now. If you have not seen any of the anniversary stuff or the Christmas special, you might want to cover your ears or leave the room or something if you don't want to be spoiled. We are going to be giving you lots of spoilers. Okay, just call me River Song right now. So.
The reason my ugly mug's up there is if you tweet to @BritTV Podcast,
yes.
I will take your questions. You don't have to be in
So
front
we'll
of
leave it up
everybody.
for a little while and then switch to other pictures
Yes.
later. But
So I'm
So
gonna
if
Twitter
you
here.
if you'd like to ask a question now, go ahead, tweet the question to
@BritTV Podcast.
BritTV Podcast, and we will get it here. And if perhaps if one pops up that's germane to whatever we're talking
Yes.
about, you can interrupt and say, "Hey, we have a question from." Yes. So, however, we also the microphone's over there by the man standing by the microphone. Hey, man by the microphone, wave so we know you're there. Thank you. That's where the microphone is. So if you want to pop over there and ask us a question, you can do that. So, shall we jump into the review of 2013?
It was awesome.
It was awesome. It was great.
great.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
What were some of
Freaking
your
awesome.
highlights?
I happen to have 2 pages of notes of what happened in 2013. Very large font. Television alone. First of all, BBC America, as I'm sure many of you know, they started their series of The Doctors Revisited. They would do a little recap of a doctor. Here's what they did. And then they would show actual stories of that doctor. The first time BBC America has shown classic Doctor Who. Yes.
That's right, yes.
Then, so that was all year. And then over the summer, we got the big announcement on a live TV broadcast around the world simultaneously. It's like, whoa, how big is this? And some guy named Peter Capaldi, was it?
yeah, that guy.
Yeah, oh, him. Yeah, he's.
Your opinion?
Capaldi. Yes, I know. I'm being silly.
Are you all familiar with him? I mean, other than the fact that he showed up in Time of the Doctor.
And Fires of Pompeii.
And Torchwood.
And Torchwood. Yeah. I mean, seriously, he is like the biggest name they've had to play the Doctor since at least Christopher Eccleston, maybe bigger than that, in Britain. We don't know him as well here because he mostly does TV work over there, TV and stage work, but he's a seriously big name actor in Britain. So, anyone watching The Musketeers on BBC America?
Don't think it started yet.
Hasn't started yet. If you start watching The Musketeers,
Yeah, we want to watch that.
yeah, he's playing Cardinal Richelieu in that too. So.
And he looks awesome.
But obviously not for very much longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to be doing that job again.
He got a better
Yeah.
gig.
Really? What would that? I know what it is.
Guy on the screen.
Also, over the last summer, we had Doctor Who at the Proms. This was like the 3rd time they did it, but the Proms is a big classical music. I don't know.
It's like a month of concerts.
Yeah.
And they do a different one every night, and they have theme nights.
And this is the 3rd time they did a Doctor Who theme night for the 30th anniversary, and they did something really bizarre. They did, but it really worked out well. I thought they actually had some members of the old Radiophonic Workshop. They brought in like synthesizers and old-time electronic music equipment to play with the symphony in the Royal Albert Hall.
It was so cool.
It was so
steal their
cool.
stuff.
First time I've ever heard City of Death instrumental music. That was great.
Yes. Then came November and things got really wild. I thought one of the biggest highlights of the entire year was the Night of the Doctor.
Absolutely.
This was online, but it was a little tiny, like 7 minutes. But if you have not seen it, go find it online.
It's cool.
It is very cool. Again, that's Night of the Doctor.
You
And
did not see it?
show of hands, who's seen Night of the
No,
Doctor?
who hasn't?
Who
seen
has not?
Who
Reverse
has
hands.
not seen it?
A few people. Oh,
All
Go
right.
find it. It's
Go
there.
see
yeah,
it.
you want to see it. You do.
It's an extra on the DVD Blu-ray.
Yeah, but it was the return of Paul McGann as the Doctor.
It's also on YouTube.
And it's
Yeah,
on
it is on
YouTube.
YouTube.
And for that matter, the Andergums webpage.
Yeah,
I
you
have
can
it,
find it.
so
It's
It's
there.
all over the place.
It's there.
Um,
It's free.
It was like the biggest shock of them all. We had no idea
Oh,
who was
yeah.
going to show up. And all of a sudden you hear in the back of the ship, I'm a doctor, but probably not the one you're looking for. Goes into the theme song, collective squee all over the world. He's back. He still looks great. He's playing the Doctor again. He's awesome. So anyway,
That pretty much was my reaction.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that was
My
verbatim
mouth
what
was
I
on
said.
the
so.
floor.
Yeah. BBC Two had a documentary, The Science of Doctor Who. Dr. Brian Cox did a lecture on Doctor Who, and there was a bumper with him going into the TARDIS and meeting up with Matt Smith. Had a lot of celebrities in there who came down and helped out with some scientifics. It was pretty cool. Doctor Who Greatest Moments and Villains on BBC Three was a series of various reruns, and they had a poll about who are the greatest monsters and villains, and did the Daleks win that one, or did they come in second? Anyone remember? Anyway, it was cool. Let's see. An Adventure in Space and Time. Who has not seen that? All right, check it out. Find it. Go check it out. It's a docudrama about the early days of Doctor Who and the creation of the show, and William Hartnell's role in it, and it is very awesome. And Bill Bradley, who was Solomon in Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, and he was Filch in Harry Potter, and he's been in Games of Thrones. He played William Hartnell, and he was awesome.
Yeah, he's really good.
And
Yeah.
it's still available to view if you have Comcast. It's available on demand.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
On
You
BBC
can go home
America.
and watch it whenever you want.
Out
And
on
the-
Blu-ray coming soon.
Ooh.
And is not getting a Blu-ray release in Britain. Apparently, Blu-rays of TV shows don't sell well in Britain, and so they don't bother. Whereas here, we kind of demand high-definition video.
They had a big 2-hour-long documentary in Britain called An Adventure in Space. No, that was not. Oh, The Ultimate Guide. There's my line there. Trying to think what else. The Last Day. It was another little short online video about basically the Daleks invading Gallifrey during the Time War. Of course, we've already talked about Day of the Doctor got shown in theaters. That was the big 50th anniversary special. They had 3 doctors
Oh, yeah.
and cameos by all the rest, including some guy named Peter Capaldi.
Well,
Yeah,
his
well-
eyes anyway.
Okay,
Yeah.
the eyebrows of Peter Capaldi.
And a hand's supposed to be his.
Very excited.
But think about it was shown in theaters all over the world at the same time. This involved a lot of logistics. They had to get it out to all these other countries to get subtitles written or get them dubbed before the anniversary. It got shown in Russia, for Pete's sake. That would have never happened back in the old days. I think one of the most amazing things about it is Norway and Sweden, Doctor Who was not being shown on television at that time. I think it's now come back in Sweden. But local Doctor Who fans picketed this one movie chain and said, we want to see this. And they got it. So, I mean, the power of fandom is awesome. Yes. If you were wondering, okay, wait, we got like all these other actors who played the Doctor, they're not in it. Well, or were they? Another special. This got shown on Red Button in Britain. It's an extra. I don't know if it's on any of the DVDs or Blu-rays.
It's
or
not. It's just available online.
Oh, that's
on YouTube.
online on YouTube. The 5-ish Doctors reboot, and this was actually written by Peter Davison
And directed.
and directed. It was basically it's Peter Davison, Colin Baker, and Sylvester McCoy all trying to get a part in the 50th anniversary special. And it's a romp, it's a runaround, it's a lot of fun. But they also got David Tennant was in it.
It was hilarious.
It was hilarious. Georgia Moffat was in it. They even had
She produced.
Barrowman.
John Barrowman is in it. Lots of cameos by some of the companions.
Two producers.
Tom Baker was not in it.
No.
No, he was not. If you're wondering, wait, I heard him. No, that was John Colshaw. He's a well-known British impressionist who does, I think, every Doctor. But I thought the most impressive part is that Sir Ian McKellen and Peter Jackson got a cameo in it as well, because Sylvester McCoy was still shooting The Hobbit at the time. So part of it was Sylvester McCoy like skipped New Zealand to come to Britain to try and get a part in the show, and it's like Peter Jackson and Ian McKellen are standing around the set going, well, what are we going to do without him? How can we do any scenes with Radagast if Radagast isn't here? So, one more thing online, Strax did a lot of field reports. You know, Strax to Sontar, Strax to Sontar. They were hilarious. Very. Time of the and there.
Oh.
And
What? Where'd it go?
Where's the volume? Uh-oh.
Stop tweeting and watch the movie, you pitiful human scum.
Hold it. What did they do? Now what's wrong?
All right.
that was actually the introduction he gave. We're not in the theaters. So his line there was, "Stop tweeting and start watching the movie, human scum." So.
And then he declares war on popcorn.
And he declares war on popcorn. Yes, that was funny.
Let's try that again.
We'll try it again. Okay.
I interrupt your use of social media to make an announcement on behalf of the glorious Sontaran Empire. Stop tweeting and watch the movie, you pitiful human scum.
You all got that time.
Play
right?
better at home.
Yeah.
Thank
Anyway,
And so did
I have here the Time of the Doctor. That was a Christmas special, wasn't it?
Yes.
There's so many of the doctors now. It's like I can't keep them straight.
I have a question here from
Yes. And we have a question.
Andrew Solorzano.
Andrew, where are you?
Here it is.
Hi.
How do you feel about the final lines of Matt Smith in Time of the Doctor?
Trying to remember what he said. Ah, yes.
Yes, that's the best freaking line ever.
That is a pretty cool line. When you look back to Time Crash, when David Tennant's talking to Peter Davison's doctor and saying, you know, you were my doctor, that's the same sort of line. So I liked it. Anyone else? No
Now,
comment?
were you faked out when you see his clothing strewn around the TARDIS and you see the feet walking up the stairs and you're thinking, this is going to be Capaldi, right?
I did.
I probably, but you know, I've seen so many regenerations. It's like
What did you think of the actual the fact that it just happened in a
It was
blink?
like whoosh.
he'd already expended so much regeneration energy. It's like yeah,
Took
fine,
out
let's do it.
those Daleks.
You know, he blew up stuff.
But hey, guess what? There was more to the anniversary than on television and online. Audios. BBC, well, they were BBC Audio, but they became Audio Go was the name of the company, and Big Finish. You guys know who Big Finish is, right? If not, we'll tell you in just a bit. But anyway, they got together and they did a series of 11 stories over 11 months with different doctors. That was called Destiny of the Doctor. Then there was a little twist. Audio Go went out of business. The series wasn't done. Big Finish basically took over all of Audio Go's Doctor Who properties and finished the series, so it's out there. But the future of audios featuring the 9th, 10th, 11th, and now 12th Doctors is kind of up in the air. Not sure what's going to happen yet. Big Finish themselves. Big Finish has been around getting close
97.
to 97. I was about to say getting close to 20 years. They've been doing Doctor Who audios with just the classic Doctors up through the 8th Doctor since 1999. They're getting close to 200 just in their main line, and they got all the different spin-off series. So there's a lot to go there. They did 2 special events for the anniversary. One was they did a series all called 1963, and then some subtitle, all set in 1963. One was set around the Kennedy assassination, one was set around the Cuban Missile Crisis, one was set around Beatlemania. And then they also did The Light at the End, where they got all 8 of the original Doctors in one form or another, together in one story. And I keep hearing it's awesome, and I haven't heard it yet, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we want that one too.
In books and comics, Puffin not normally associated with publishing Doctor Who. They did a series of short story novellas, they called them, called 11 Doctors, 11 Stories, and they were all released them as ebooks. They've now been collected into one volume. IDW did a Prisoner of Time special comic. Each month they had a different Doctor, and there's like an ongoing storyline that went through them. And then they also did a special called The Girl Who Loved Doctor Who, which was about the 11th Doctor had a little accident with his TARDIS and ended up in our world and meets an actor named Matt Smith.
I remember when Star Trek did that.
Yeah.
Written by Paul Cornell.
And it was written by Paul Cornell, too, right, who wrote Father's Day, Human Nature. Then there was the news that IDW had lost the rights to do Doctor Who comics.
That's here in the United States.
In the United States, right. They're still doing, if you are familiar with the story of Doctor Who comics, they're still doing the comic in Doctor Who magazine. Doctor Who Adventures is another magazine that they're doing comics in. So the rights to do other new Doctor Who comics has gone now to Titan, which is a British publisher. I don't know how available they'll be in the States, but let's face it, this is a Comic-Con. You know how to get the comics, right? We all know about previews. We all know about your shop. So yeah, take it. So they're going to do a new 10th Doctor series. They're going to do an 11th Doctor series, and later in the year or early next year, they're going to start a new 12th Doctor series. Ooh. On video, this is a little faux pas. The complete Series 7 Blu-ray was accidentally sent out to people, like 200 and some people in America, a week early. Uh-oh. So they could watch, make sure I get this straight, the name of the Doctor before it was shown on television. Quickly, the word went out. Basically, everyone at the BBC said, don't tell anyone what happens. And guess what? They didn't. That's amazing that something like that would get out and they would keep it under wraps. There's the Regeneration box set. There's every Regeneration story in one box set with a whole bunch of extras, including, that was the original release on DVD of The 10th Planet, which was William Hartnell's last story. It's since been released on its own.
This is where they animated episode 4 because
Right.
it was missing from the archives. You guys know there's a lot of missing episodes that the BBC erased in the early
Fewer now.
1970s.
Fewer now because they found 9 more episodes of Doctor Who, and they all had Patrick Troughton in them. Which is,
And they're consecutive episodes.
I know,
Stories.
I know. So we have all of the Enemy of the World back. We have all but one episode of the Web of Fear back. Enemy is, I think, out on DVD now, and Web of Fear is coming soon. So, and there's hints, rumors that a few more episodes were found. They're just
Not telling us.
They want to be. I think they want to be careful. They don't reveal their hand too much because I think there may be some private collectors involved in this who, if they realize what they have and how valuable it is to the BBC, they might not be able to afford to get them back in one form or another.
Well, those people should be nice and either give them back or,
Yeah.
I know, I'm with you there. So
There was an even more recent report of 10 film canisters being found in Taiwan. Downside being they already exist in the archives.
Yeah.
But the fact is,
it was there.
canisters were found in Taiwan, meaning canisters can be filmed or found elsewhere.
in case you haven't heard, by the way, the missing episode, the Pat Troughton episodes that were recovered were found in Nigeria, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just there's a company out there that's now actually going out and searching out, and they're going out and looking at all these little tiny TV stations around Africa and Asia, and these basically outposts around the world that have had British shows in the past, and they're digging through the archives and finding out what they have.
And the guy in charge of the company, his name is Phil Morris, so thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Phil. Woo! Yes. Some miscellaneous things. I already told you about the party at EMP. Google had a doodle for the 50th anniversary, a playable Doctor Who game doodle, which was awesome. But this is the most exciting thing, I thought. First of all, we did not have one, but we had 2 new Doctors. We had John Hurt and Peter Capaldi. And we had 4 regenerations in 1 year. That's like almost a third of the regenerations he's had. So in case you're wondering, wait, what were they? So first of all, we had in Day of the Doctor, we had Hurt regenerating in Eccleston. In Time of the Doctor, we had Smith regenerating into Capaldi. In Night of the Doctor, if you haven't seen that, we had McGann regenerating into Hurt.
You can see a younger version of his face in a
Yeah.
reflection, so it's
And I would
there.
love to know what movie they plucked that from or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, so anyway. And finally, if you have not seen it, there's some behind-the-scenes extras for an adventure in space and time that they were originally going to do a coda of William Hartnell returning to the show in The Three Doctors. And so for that, they got, I can't remember his name, the actor who plays Patrick Troughton.
Or Reese Shearsmith.
Reese Shearsmith, thank you. They did a regeneration from him into the actor who was going to play the third Doctor, which was Mark Gatiss, who of course, yeah, who's been in the show, who's written for the show, who wrote An Adventure in Space and Time, and of course co-created Sherlock. So 4 regenerations in 1 year, that's amazing. So that is 2013 in review.
And there were stamps.
And the stamps, I forgot
Some
all
of them
about the
anyway.
stamps. And the Royal Mail put out a series of stamps as well.
We have another question.
We have another question. Who
Joe.
would it be from and what is it?
Jeff Almeida asks, any insight when Capaldi is going to make an appearance on his old bandmate Craig Ferguson's show?
I have a prediction.
Yeah, we
Okay.
think we
And what
should
would
be-
that be?
BBC America tends to promote the series at San Diego Comic-Con, so probably around that time.
Yeah, San
Just
Diego
a prediction.
Comic-Con is
That
almost
would be
perfectly
awesome.
poised to promote Doctor Who this year, because the very next question is, has season 8 been scheduled to start airing? How many episodes? I'm going to go on a limb here and say that it's going to start on August 24th, which is the day before my birthday. And the reason is it's the August bank holiday.
Yep.
And it used to be like you could bank on Doctor Who starting on Easter. Well, now it's got an autumn start. It'll start the August bank holiday. So that's my prediction. So I'm saying on
And
camera
his-
here.
I support that prediction.
I concur. I agree with you. I suspect
Works
that will
for
be
me.
it.
So Comic-Con is like 3 or 4 weeks before that.
Perfect.
I'm pretty certain Capaldi will be here in the States. He will be doing press in Los Angeles. He'll probably be doing press in New York, because Ferguson's out of New York, right?
No, he's in
No,
LA.
he's
Oh, he's in LA. Oh,
Yeah.
then yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
a pretty safe bet that he
Yeah.
will.
So sometime this
Show up.
summer, I'm betting. Yeah.
And that would be
Um,
like the
yeah.
awesome.
and
That's
if
when
I-
they're wrapping
Oh,
up
yeah.
shooting anyway. So
Yeah, because he's busy filming the show
Yeah,
right
they're
now.
filming.
Yeah. One more question. Someone asked. Well, another part of that question was how many episodes. It has been confirmed, 13, and they will all be shown in a row.
now,
No breaks.
break.
is
So
it? Is it? Do you know for sure it's 13 plus a Christmas special, or
Or
12 and a Christmas special?
I do not. I cannot say for certain.
12
I'm
plus a
pretty-
Christmas special.
Unless they change their minds. We don't know.
See, I hadn't heard there was 12 plus.
On
a
the other
Christmas,
hand,
so
Moffat lies.
You know, just
But
saying.
this is getting back to an autumn start.
let's just put it this way: there will be at least 13.
So September, October, November, it will be dark when it gets shown.
Which is what they like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and for the scary factor, it was hard to be scary when it was June and 85 degrees outside.
Yeah.
So,
So
A
should-
couple other items from last year I've got notes on.
Okay.
Awards. Doctor Who did very well for awards. It won an Institutional Peabody Award last year. It also won the Guinness World Record for the largest ever simulcast of a TV drama. 98 countries worldwide, all at the same time.
Oh yeah.
That is impressive.
and no glitches.
And also, this past January at the National Television Awards in England, Doctor Who wins for Best Drama, Matt Smith winner, Best Dramatic Performance. So kudos all around.
Yeah.
There's been a new companion, right? Or a new,
Oh?
Well,
Oh,
okay,
oh, yeah.
okay. Here's what
The addition.
Here's my notes on what we know is coming up so far in 2014. I do have one rumor on here, but first of all, anything you've heard that I do not mention here has not been confirmed. One rumor that's really bugging me is some people out there are saying, "Oh, Capaldi's only signed for 1 season, then he's going to
No.
regenerate." No, he's too big of. He may be the biggest fan ever to have been cast in
He's
the
a
part.
total anorak.
He's been watching the show since he was 5 when it started. So I don't think he's going to stick around as long as he wants.
They will pry that
Yeah.
TARDIS console from his cold, dead hands.
So here's what we know so far. Now, we don't know if he's a companion, but we do know of a new recurring character, and that is his name is Danny Pink, and he is one of Clara's fellow teachers at Coal Hill School. One thing we do know, we don't have a lot of details yet on any of that. We have no titles, so don't ask me what's such and such. I can't tell you. I don't know. But one thing we do know, in the first episode, the Pater Nostra gang is back. That's Vax, Vastra, and Jenny, and Strax. So. About the only other major casting news is Keely Hawes, another big name British star that is not very familiar here, is she's playing not in the same episode, some episodes she's playing a not very nice character named Ms. Delphox.
Did anybody see the series Ashes to Ashes?
It was the sequel to Life on Mars.
Oh, we got one back
She's
there,
a
yeah.
star.
She's the star in that.
And she
Yes.
just finished a very intense drama called Line of Duty in Britain. She was starting.
But that's about the only casting. Now, behind the camera, here's a little bit we do have. There seems to be, every year they seem to get, someone leaves and they have to get a new producer in. Well, this year they got one, a pretty good one, very experienced. Brian Minchin is the new producer this year. He was previously a script editor for Doctor Who and for Torchwood. And he was also a producer on the Sarah Jane Adventures and for the Miracle Day arc on Torchwood. So he's got some chops already in that. Writers, we have some returning writers. Stephen Moffat, of course. Yeah. Phil Ford.
Oh, him.
Yeah.
That guy?
Steve Thompson. Mark Gatiss. Not sure if Mark Gatiss is writing. He said he's writing 2, but we're not sure if they're both for the new series or what. Neil Cross and Gareth Roberts. And we have one new writer who's Jack Lothian. We have some directors, Ben Wheatley, Paul Murphy, Douglas McKinnon, and Paul Wilmshurst. Pardon?
Yeah, Ben Whitley's a kind of a big name guy. He's done a lot of very well-regarded independent movies in Britain, and he's quite a catch for him to do series television. So they were very excited about that.
And apparently, I keep hearing rumors about this, but it's possible that Phil Jackson may be in the mix in the near future for directing. Probably not this season. There has been one new monster seen on location. Basically, he's a torso with arms and legs and 2 eyes sticking out like that. So
Ew.
That's a human, isn't it?
no. The eyes are on stalks.
Uh,
Do we have a question?
Dalton Elliott asks, do you think the Daleks will be after Capaldi more than ever before?
Well, that brings up the next item on my list. There is a rumor, and this is the one rumor I put on here, that the Daleks are going to be showing up. Whether or not they're going at, how they're going after Capaldi, whether or not they remember, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, wouldn't surprise me a bit. And my last item we've already covered. It most likely will start over the August bank holiday weekend. So,
Jeff says, Silence in the Library first aired in June. Scary much? I think
Yeah.
for kids, more not for adults, that you're also just competing with outdoor activities, whereas if it's a cold October night and it's dark out, people
You're
are going to
likely
be
inside.
in watching
Yeah.
TV on a Saturday night. I think it's going to help.
just
ratings.
across the board, all across Britain, the ratings drop. As the lighter it gets, the longer the days get, the ratings go down, no matter what. And this has happened to Doctor Who. This happened to every show.
The classic series never really aired during summer.
No, it
It was
didn't.
either a fall start or a January start.
Well, in the 60s, they were practically running the show year-round. But anyway.
Doctor Who is best.
Should we give
Darkened curtains behind the sofa.
Should we give our big announcement for what's coming up next year
Coming soon.
to a hotel near you?
Pop up flyer on the screen.
Ah, yes.
We prepared some flyers. Feel free to take some so you can have it for reference.
Yeah, this has all kinds of information on local Doctor Who stuff, KBTC, what you can see there, the local clubs, that sort of thing. But the big news on there is
The return of a convention. Show of hands. Who remembers a local convention by the name of Anglicon? It's
we're gonna change.
back.
Help me find where the
That's on the-
percentage of Zoom is. I
Oh.
can't read
Oh,
from there. I don't know how to make it smaller.
oh, wow.
Oh,
there we go.
There we go.
Ah, you got it.
So look over there in the lower left-hand corner.
So, as these flyers went to press,
Yeah.
the official date was
The contract was
confirmed.
signed.
So, take notes, kiddies.
Yeah, we have these as well. if you want some of
Anglicon
these.
2015, the Regeneration, will be held June 12 through 14 next year.
2015.
That's 15 months from now.
Yes.
Yes, lots of
So
time.
start the
Save up.
countdown.
So we
You
At
don't
have
the
need to come to
Doubletree-
Emerald City Comic Con.
Doubletree
Hey,
Airport
here, if you wanna
in
take this home.
SeaTac, right near the airport.
It's the same convention nowhere else can sell that. And the people running it have a lot of experience. It's not just a bunch of fans who are like, hey,
do?
my dad's got a barn, let's put on a show. The chairman is a former chair of NorwestCon. He's been a Doctor Who fan for 20 years, 30 years, what am I saying? I used to slip him camera copies of Colin Baker episodes when he was a student at Western Washington, and he would show them up there. The vice chair is former chairman of RustyCon. You're doing programming.
I'm doing programming.
We've got a really good contract with the hotel. The hotel definitely knows about conventions. And the plan is to make an ongoing thing of this. It's not going to be just a one and done convention. It's to make a convention that each year can grow and get bigger and better each year.
And something
And
for all of you to
this,
come and have fun at.
This kind of stemmed from the fact that the EMP experience on November 23rd, we kind of saw that there were about 2,000 people there at a 4-hour event that had no guests.
And they had
Maybe
almost,
there's fuel for a convention here.
and there's almost no lead time either. They announced it like only a couple of weeks ahead.
We're giving you 15
that was
months lead
impressive.
time.
Yeah. Oh, well,
So-
another thing that's like encouraging, we're there's a little behind the scenes stuff that maybe I don't need to share, but I will. We're right now we're aiming at about 500, which would have been about average for the old Anglicon, but we're also we have enough space in the hotel to expand if there's more interest. Considering that a couple weeks ago, the Gallifrey 1 convention in Los Angeles, they've been going on for 26 years. This is their 26th edition, right, Wendy?
Going into 26, yeah.
Yeah, they at 10 o'clock one day, like on a Friday, tickets went on sale. At 11:15, they had sold out over 3,000. So there is a lot of interest in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
There's other conventions
was
now
like a week
popping up
ago.
around the country. There's Hurricane Who down in Florida. There's Long Island Who. Where's that? Long Island, isn't it? Yeah.
New York.
There's
Chicago
one in
Target.
Funny how that
Minnesota
works.
somewhere.
Well, Chicago TARS has been going along for a while, and Gallifrey, but now there's more because let's face it, Doctor Who is bigger than it has ever been, and certainly bigger than it has ever been in the United States.
So nice,
So the interest is there.
Jump on
nice
the
Who
bandwagon.
convention in the Northwest seems rather appropriate. What do you think, people?
Wanna come?
Yeah, sounds like we're a go for launch.
Yep. Just out of curiosity, how many people were here at the panel yesterday, for the Doctor Who panel yesterday?
All
Well, I know
right.
you were. She was moderating it. Whole place was full, and the news was big. And I dragged poor Sean. Sean's our chairman. He's right there. I dragged him up on stage instead of taking it myself so he could answer the questions. One comment was basically, just let us give you money. We're not quite set up for that yet, but we are in the process. Just pay attention to
Keep your eyeballs
local-
on the Facebook page, things
Yeah.
like that.
the
Yes.
website, just Facebook in general. We'll be like publicizing
If you
the
need this
heck out
tape
of
with
it.
you,
And we'll
then
be
you
here
have
a year from now
information.
to
We have
and we'll
flyers,
plug it
pamphlets.
incessantly.
Unless of
freebies.
course we're sold out by then.
That's a good problem to have.
Oh yeah. All right. So I think we covered. Well, we just want to mention one more thing on this flyer that hopefully you will get. Please take one, and if you want to take a few more and hand them out to other Whovians you meet, and we'll probably have, we made an awful lot. I didn't realize it'd be quite this not so large.
I know.
I know.
Maybe
It's a-
everybody went to something else.
I think it's a combination of Carl Urban and
Yeah.
dinner. So.
Carl
but-
who?
Or people eating Carl Urban for dinner.
That's
Yeah.
a rather tender
Apparently
subject.
they
That would be the
Some
Emerald City
competition.
Androgums there, Mr. Johnson. Yes. But anyway, yeah, I put information on the local Doctor Who groups as well, including the Doctor Who Seattle Facebook group, which has been awesome. So, yeah, it's nice to make the pretty blonde girls in the front smile, isn't it? So,
We
So
are,
if your
it's a
friends
good
went to
thing.
the other panels, take them flyers so they can have information
Yes.
too.
as you've heard, we're definitely, old style fans. I mean, we've been fans for decades and decades and throughout the wilderness years. And it definitely is it stills our heart that, Doctor Who, a show that we always loved and thought was great, is now extremely popular, extremely well known. I mean, Entertainment Weekly will just have throwaway references to Doctor Who in its magazine. I mean, it's,
unless they have Matt Smith on the cover.
yeah.
Or TV Guide.
Or TV
Or-
Guide.
yeah.
I seriously did not think this day would come.
And if I can say one thing that really makes me, really makes me glow and happy as a Doctor Who fan is looking at people like this, the young ones, the little
Yeah,
kids who are
like-
watching Doctor
like
Who.
these
It's like this,
lovelies here.
this never,
We love
even in the
you.
golden age of Doctor Who in the United States back in the 80s, that did not, there were
You guys
not a
are
lot
gonna
of
have
kids
the most
watching.
awesome times
Yes.
ever.
I'm a teacher over in Eastern Washington, and I've encountered several students who are Doctor Who fans now. And plus, now this is really weird. My ex-girlfriend, who is the one who introduced me to Doctor Who, she's now living in that part of the state as well. Her daughter is a Doctor Who fan who's writing for the local paper.
All right.
So I'm going, oh man, this was meant to be. So
We are also very fortunate to live in an area where we have the only
Yes.
PBS station
It's on
showing
right now,
classic
right
Who.
now.
Yeah.
It is on right now. Oh my God. Tune in.
Yeah. If we had a TV, we could be
Can we-
watching some
KBTC, Channel
episodes.
12.
They're-
I will
Tom Baker
add
era.
Yeah,
all-
What show are we on right now?
if you've never seen Tom Baker episodes, they're on Saturday
Sunmakers.
night.
Sunmakers, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're on the Sunmakers.
So if
Vintage
anyone
stuff.
has a TV, you know.
It's on. They're rerunning it at 1 o'clock tomorrow. In the morning,
Yeah.
Sunday morning. So if you want to see it anyway,
Or if you're up that late tonight and are in a local hotel.
this too is true.
Turn on your
Most
TV.
of us became fans on Tom Baker episodes, so there are.
Actually, my first was the end of John Pertwee. So
Okay.
what a way to start.
No kidding. Anyway, I think we've pretty much covered everything we set out to cover. So all we need now are some people to stand over there by the microphone and yammer at us, and we can
Yes.
Questions.
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 We can talk
Do-
about anything you guys want to talk about.
Seriously.
Well,
Now,
If you can
while
project-
we're waiting for this person to get over there, I just want to emphasize we are not representatives of the BBC, BBC
No.
America, or anyone else who holds any sorts of
We're
rights.
just
We are merely.
Fans like you.
Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, Steve. Hey, how you doing? Just kidding.
All right. We have someone standing at the mic.
Hi.
What is your question?
So I've noticed in some of the more recent episodes with Matt Smith that the focus has been more on the Doctor rather than the companions, or at least that's what I seem to get. What's your opinion on that fact?
I just rewatched Rose and End of the World this week because it was the 9th anniversary of those
The
premiering.
beginning, yes.
9 years. It's
9
been on
years
9
since
years
it's been
now.
And the joke that season was it was the Rose Tyler show with Christopher Eccleston as the Doctor. Although I think that actually, in retrospective, worked. I like those episodes more now than I did when I first saw them.
It harkened back to original series, the way it used to be,
I-
where the viewpoint was from the point of view of the
I
companion.
think it sucks in
Because
the
they
audience
relate
rather
it to
well
the
that
regular
way.
person.
But the show is called Doctor Who. He is the star of the show. He is the most interesting character. And whenever you see like a fan movie or some sort of production that's in the Doctor Who universe, but the Doctor's not in it, you always feel there's something sort of missing.
Yeah.
Some magic element. It's not the same. So,
But did we feel that way about Blink?
but he's still in it in a way.
Yeah.
Even though David Tennant's not physically on camera,
Most of it, yeah.
his presence is still in there.
Bit of a master chess player behind the scenes.
But if I can also address one part of the question was, here's the last few episodes. Yeah, and let's face it, it's the Doctor's 50th birthday. Yeah, we're going to celebrate the guy a little bit. That's fine. I have no problem with that. I don't think, focusing it as much on the Doctor and all the stuff he's going through every single story. No, let's face it, we're watching it for the monsters. But
Yeah.
for a little bit there, let's just be, self-indulgent because it's his birthday.
In Day of the Doctor, I think definitely Jenna Coleman's character needed to kind of be in the background to let the Doctor sort of shine and do their thing.
Yeah.
Although she had some pivotal things
Oh yeah.
in the episode.
Jenna Coleman's great. She's awesome. All right. Hey, who's next?
Wow, we have a line.
All right.
I'd like to see the return of the Vashta Narada and some more Weeping Angels. If are there any more creatures that you guys would like to see come back and for more screen time?
Well, first of all, to address one of those, the Weeping Angels, Stephen Moffat's pretty much said, you know what, I think I've pretty much told all the stories I can tell with them, but if someone else comes up with an idea, I'm certainly open to it. I like seeing some of the classic monsters brought back in a good way.
Who needs to come back that hasn't?
Well, first of all, for a long time I was saying the Zygons.
We got
Well,
those.
they did.
Yeah.
So then, who's next? So I got actually the one I really want to see now. Well, two of them. One, and they're halfway there now. I want to see the Yeti. So they brought in the great intelligence. This is one last step. Let's get the Yeti in there, and then the
I
other,
like it.
and then maybe one of the best makeup jobs they ever did in the old show, and they were incredibly rich, detailed race in just one little story. The Draconians, if you've seen.
Oh,
Ooh.
yes.
I would
Ooh,
love
yeah.
I would love to see the Draconians come back and handled like as carefully as the Klingons were in Star Trek: The Next Generation. I think they have that potential for being that kind of character. Anyone else?
I'm not sure. I have to think.
I don't know. I'm just staring at the two shadows being cast by Ryan's water bottle here.
Oh,
Kind of
how about
freaking me out.
do you want to see the Master come back?
Sure, why not?
Oh, can I address some rumors
But
there?
starting as John Sim,
No. Gotta
then a regeneration.
Yeah, there
Bring
are
in
rumors.
Start
some
over.
a fresh face.
Do you
There-
think it should be someone age appropriate to Capaldi?
Not necessarily.
No, it doesn't have to be.
There are rumors going around that the
There might
Master
be.
may be back in the new show.
We don't know.
Want to emphasize rumor.
Rumor.
So yeah, I think the Master's best used sparingly. You don't want to use him too
Yeah, don't
often.
saturate.
Yeah. Okay, who's next?
Hi, I was wondering who is your favorite companion and why?
Ooh.
For the entire
Oh, man,
run
I
of the
never-
show?
Yeah.
Sarah Jane.
Wow.
And
I-
why?
Chemistry with Tom Baker and just pure competence. And the little things that she would do in a script, you can watch her in a scene and the way she'll be out of breath or doing little bits of business that was not in the script. I mean, Elizabeth Sladen was fully invested in that character and played her like she was a real person.
Yeah, Sarah Jane was awesome.
She was a cool chick.
She was great.
She was my first companion.
She was
That I
mine
watched.
too. Yeah. First story.
Well, I guess, yeah, technically me too.
Yeah.
We're boring.
She could.
I like everybody, really.
Liz Sladen
They're all
could take a really straightforward, pretty standard companion in peril script and make Sarah interesting in it. So I'm trying to think if there's anyone in the 21st century who particularly stands out for me.
I like Donna.
Yeah,
Donna's great.
I love her. She's got sass and she ain't putting
Oh
up
yeah.
crap.
I didn't mind Martha.
Okay, wait.
People
How many
are-
Martha fans here?
Thank
Now,
you.
how many Martha haters here? Be honest. Come
Oh, well.
on. All right.
Ooh, well, a little bit.
You're entitled to your
Not so
opinion.
many of you.
There, one of the big things the last year, the bunch of fans from Australia put together a great podcast called Splendid Chaps, and every month they would cover a different Doctor and a different topic in Doctor Who, and it was great. But one of their big mantras they always said was "There's no wrong way to be a Doctor Who fan." So if you disagree with me, it's like fine, you still love the show. We both have that in common. I think Martha was a great character. I just don't think the writers always knew quite what to do with her, and that's been one of the problems with companions all through the years. If they don't get a really good handle on it and the writers can't fall down on the job, then all of a sudden it's like you got a not that great companion, no matter how good the actor is.
Someone asked me, with my knowledge of British actors, who would I cast as the potential next Master?
Ooh.
The trouble is they've already used like the best guy, which was who turned into Sim?
Yeah, Jack.
Derek Jacobi.
Derek
Jacobi.
Jacobi.
Yeah, they
Oh,
used him up
Sir
when they
Derek
could have
Jacobi.
used him
Fact is,
properly.
almost any actor over the age of 50 in Britain who you've heard of could do the job and
Yeah.
probably be awesome. I mean, the list is
There's
endless.
so many
There's
guys.
so many.
And many who
Yeah.
are under 50 as well. Look at
True.
John
Yeah,
Sim.
I mean,
Yeah.
Britain is just full of actors who could.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
I think he's a little busy.
Only because we have to say the name and say it with me, people. Benedict
Benedict
Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think the biggest problem with Benedict Cumberbatch and Doctor Who is too much baggage. It's like everyone's saying, "Oh look, there's Sherlock," not "Oh look, there's a character played by Benedict Cumberbatch."
Good point.
I've
Yeah.
seen him in non-Sherlock.
Oh, of course, we all have. But anyway,
Okay.
shall we go to another question? Hey, what's up?
Hello. I
Hello.
was wondering if you had heard any of the rumors of Susan Foreman returning, and if so, what are some of your thoughts on that?
I have not heard that rumor. Are you talking about
I have
Caroline
not.
Ford coming back or the character coming back?
The character.
Be great if Carol was doing it.
Yeah, Caroline Ford could
Haven't
still
heard
do
the
it.
rumor.
She's
I have
awesome.
not heard the rumor though.
I don't
Nothing.
know what
yeah.
they would do. Why not invent a new character? So I've not heard that. I don't know.
But the fact that he should go back and
Yes.
visit her someday because he's.
Now, you do
older.
know, so Clara is teaching at Coal Hill School, which
Yeah.
is from An Unearthly Child, where
Which is where Ian and Barbara, the
And
original
Ian's in
two companions,
charge.
came from, right? Well, the original two humans.
Has
6
his name
degrees
on
of
it.
Coal Hill School.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice scarf.
Thank you. So, if the next Doctor was to be a girl, what British actor who is a girl would you pick?
Ooh.
Again, there's a lot of really good ones.
Helen Mirren's
I'll be
good?
crazy. Miranda Hart.
I think it should be great. Yeah.
Joanna Lumley. Oh, wait, been there.
Oh,
Do you
if
guys know
see-
that like 30 years ago I did fan movies with a female doctor? You can see them on
They are
YouTube.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, there are tons and tons of British actresses.
the
who
country
could-
is
who could do it.
saturated with
Emma
awesome
Thompson.
You could almost anybody
Oh,
who came out of
yeah.
RADA, you could pretty much cast.
I love.
them,
I
and they
would.
be
I don't
great.
think she'd do it just because she's too big a name. But I would love to see Helena Bonham Carter
Ooh.
She
Yeah.
does do television.
Ooh.
Yeah.
on a regular basis.
She does TV movies.
Yeah.
She does at
Okay,
least one or
alright,
two TV
alright.
movies a year, so she's not averse to doing television.
But here's the thing: anyone who's going to play the Doctor, I mean,
It's a big commitment.
no matter what you do, you got to find the right actor. Yes, it is a big
Judy
commitment, yeah.
Dench. Can you
Helen-
imagine?
She needs a job.
Okay, Helen Mirren.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Maggie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of those ladies are wonderful.
So I mean, there's all this controversy about can the Doctor be a woman? I say I have no
Why
problem
not?
with it,
Sure,
since I've seen his films, and Barbara's awesome in them.
It's been
So-
written in, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we even had in The Doctor's Wife, we had the bit about the Corsair having been a woman at one point. So it's now it's canon. It can be done. So it's just a case of when it's time to cast the next actor for the Doctor, it's like let's see who we can get, and we have the perfect person here, and it happens to be a woman or an actor with some non-European background. Idris Elba
He's
would be
almost
awesome.
too big.
But yeah, he
They've
might be
got-
too
They
big.
asked him like 4 years ago. He might have done it, but I think he's too big of a
Yeah.
name now.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
I was wondering what are your guys' opinions on, since every new Who Doctor is really close to their ends or almost just at their regenerations, they always become so dark. Like even 11, he was so fun at the first, but he became really dark near the end.
Well, he
Wow.
was facing his own mortality.
Yeah.
I think it's partly a tonal choice that the producers make, because if he's kind of happy-go-lucky and then you kill him off, I think
It doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it's got to. He has to be taking it seriously so that when he dies, the audience is expecting it or is ready for
Can
it.
deal with it.
Because you think of like even when they kill off Tom Baker, Logopoulos spends a lot of time setting the tone for that episode. Very funeral. The doctors talk about entropy and all that kind of stuff. And so I think if it was too jokey, that it would just really have a bad taste in people's mouths. So I think that's why they tend to do that. That's my guess.
And let's face it, they always have this lead. Well, almost always they've had this lead time. They know the actor's going to leave. They say, right, let's send you on a big old story. But
And if anything, Eccleston lightened up near the end.
good point.
So.
Hello.
Hi there.
First of all, how many questions am I allowed to ask?
Well, we have to be thrown out of here eventually, so.
Yeah.
3.
Okay, just go for it.
Okay.
3.
What
Well,
are your thoughts on Weeping Angels?
They're
Don't blink.
Creepiest freaking things ever.
certainly the most successful new creature they've come up with in 10 years.
Certainly my most terrifying one.
Again,
Yes.
you don't want to milk them though. I mean, once
do,
you sort
do
of
not go overboard
set
with
their
any
limitations
yeah.
and stuff like that, better to give them a rest than to have people get sick and tired. Because that's
Then
basically
if
what they
they
did
show
with the
up again, that's a
Daleks.
big surprise.
They beat the Daleks to death in the 60s, and then they need to keep them off.
Yeah.
for-
I liked how they handled them in. Make sure I get the name right again. Time of the Doctor. Just they weren't in there much, but they were there, and they had creepy
Just a
new things
subtle
like,
little
it's
thing
it's
hidden.
foggy, we can't see them. So
Oh, that reminds me.
yes.
There's a new ebook coming out entitled Tales of Trenzalore.
Oh yes. Oh, this is exciting.
We know that the Doctor spent 900 years on Trenzalore. There's a lot of untold stories, and this ebook tells of 4 of them, bringing back 4 classic monsters. The 4 being the Ice Warriors, the Mara, the Autons,
Oh my.
and
The
the
Crinoids.
Crinoids. Yes, the Crinoids. Crinoids in the
Surprise,
snow.
surprise.
So look forward to that. That's out there somewhere on the internet.
Question 2.
Yes. Question 2.
Number 2.
What are your thoughts on how there hasn't been a female doctor yet?
Well, we talked about that.
A
Yeah.
little bit, but-
I did that 30 years ago.
And no, it's not a case of, now it's been done, we don't have to do it. No, not at
Stephen
all.
Moffat did it in Curse of Fatal Death.
This is true.
I think they'll cast
Yes,
the best
you should
person
find that
for
and
it,
watch that.
and they
It's
might do it.
hilarious.
And there'll be some small part of fandom will be like, I can't do that. But it'll be
Why,
fine.
why?
They'll get someone who's a good actor,
Actually,
and it'll be.
If I may,
Doctor-
curious poll here, who would not mind a female doctor?
All right.
This is encouraging.
I don't have a problem
Thank
with it.
you.
Moffat, you're in.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 3.
One more
Dolly.
question.
This is the hard one.
Okay.
We like
Who's your
hard
favorite
questions.
doctor?
No, that's
The-
an easy one. That's
there-
an easy one. For me.
Yes,
Yes.
Tom
the
Baker.
Doctor. There is only one.
Well,
Splendid
Wonderful
chaps,
chap.
All of them.
All of them.
I always quote the
Must I be
Brigadier, what he just said.
Tom
I
Baker.
can't. There's just different things I like about different ones
I like
for
them
different
all.
reasons.
There's no
You know?
era. You can't.
I
you
like
got-
this guy down here with the bow tie.
Yeah!
you can't pull out an episode of the last 50 years and put it in there and you go, oh, not him. I'd watch them all.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, Doctor Who magazine will have a poll of, the last. They just. I
Like
just
the
feel
one they're having now?
Like the one they're having now of, all time, the last 800 episodes of Doctor Who, what were your favorites? And they always ask, who was your favorite Doctor? And they expect a number or a name or something. And I always say, wonderful chap, all of them. And this time I said, wonderful chap, all of them. Now, will you recognize this as a potential category? Come on.
Yeah.
All right. Next question.
Here's a
So,
go ahead.
Okay,
oh,
sorry.
I don't know if you had a thought.
That bow
We
tie
have
is very
we have
cool.
a tweeted question, so shall we go with that? Let's go with that.
The wife asks, any thoughts on Clara's grandmother, possible connection to Pond because of the ring? Do you know the actress playing her was in Vengeance on Varos? She was one of the two
Yes.
people watching all the violence on TV. And she's in an ITV series about hollymakers in Spain as well.
Yeah.
One dangling plot thread I want to know is
Yes.
who gave Clara the Doctor's phone number?
She did.
I'll tell you one
Yeah,
dangling
lady
plot
in the
thread I
shop.
want to deal
What
with.
lady? Yeah, but who was
Yeah.
that?
Who was that lady?
I think it's like Lost. Sometimes you guys can answer the question better than if the show stops
No,
for
they
3
gotta
minutes
tell
while
us
they explain
eventually.
it. No,
I
just
got
make
an
up your own
unanswered
answer.
question. This goes back to the Amy Pond era. What happened to the ducks in Ledworth?
They flew away.
They brought this up like this is a big deal. Oh, there's no ducks in the pond, and then they never answered it. It's like, okay.
That'll be the long game Moffat plays.
I don't feel the need to explain it.
But the gentleman in the bow tie has a question.
Hello.
So, one of the things that I've always loved about the Doctor is that he's always put in these no-win situations, whether it's blowing up Gallifrey or having to lose a companion. And one of the things that Moffat's done throughout his tenure is he's starting to undo these absolute failures. Do you think that that's something that detracts from the story, or do you think that that's an allowable thing?
They haven't brought anything back from the dead yet, and that would be dramatically the cardinal
Yeah.
sin. Because once you say, oh,
Well,
this character died, but
Except
they
the
didn't-
master. He keeps coming back all the
but
time.
that's
yeah.
that's
He's
his
just-
shtick.
Yeah.
But death has to be real, or
Yeah.
you completely undermine the entire series, and you can't go back and undo something you've just done. I mean, I like to believe that when the TARDIS arrives somewhere, the second they open the door, boom, they are now locked in that time thing. And anything that he does from that point on, that happens.
Which could very possibly explain all the different futures that we have seen for Earth, including Enemy of the World. We were like all chuckling because the date on the helicopter is given like 2018 or something like that. So it could be happening any moment now.
No, it's already happened, I think, isn't it?
Something like that. So, but do we have the World Zones organization? Has there been some guy named Salamander trying to take over the world? No. So what happened? For that matter, back in 1986, does anyone remember
A twin planet?
coming around Earth?
It
And
was hiding behind Halley's Comet.
It was only visible from the southern hemisphere.
There you go.
okay.
Okay.
Oh, I just remembered something. All that
Yes.
merchandise that you mentioned, Eric. So you're all making your Christmas lists, I'm sure. There's one more piece of merchandise that just came to mind. Risk, Dalek Invasion of Earth version of Risk. Not kidding. Pre-orders now available through the BBC shop.
Ooh.
Made of want.
Next question.
So I had 2 questions, but that just added a third. I don't know if you've done much in the way of themed Risk, but is it going to be one of those like timed games, like
Because like a lot of the themed risks, it's like set in such a way that it's only going to take you like 16 turns to do it. Whereas
I don't even know
Risk,
much
you go
about
forever.
Risk,
Yeah.
the board game itself. so
Don't
I'm
know
not-
about
I
the
couldn't-
details
Yeah.
of that
I couldn't
aspect.
answer that. But
There's barely been any information about
Yeah.
it.
So
I just remember old-fashioned Risk.
tell you what, you get the game, you play it, you tell us
tell us.
next year about it, okay?
We expect your review.
Yes.
So relatively new to the Whovian fandom, my wife was showing it to me about a year ago. She was showing me some of the Matt Smith era, and then I powered through the entire series on an 8-month deployment to Afghanistan.
Thank you.
You mean the new stuff or the old stuff?
That's the way to do it.
It was really just a really great way to pass the time and a great fan to become a part of. One thing, so my first question